Hi, sorry the voiceover for this is pretty bad. The quality is no good, but I've ordered a new microphone, but it'll take a while to arrive. Maybe just mute this video and read alone.
Sorry, I gotta go now. Alisa is waiting. Yeah, of course she is. The two of you are always together recently. She wants to watch a movie at the cinema and I want to check them all out afterwards. Kuroo groaned as he tried to slide into his shoes without dropping the phone that he was balancing with his shoulder. But your German still sucks, doesn't it? You probably won't be able to understand anything at all. Yeah, you're right, but Alisa is really amazing. She's almost fluent in German and it's just been 3 months since we came here. Almost fluent? Aren't you exaggerating it a bit now? No, I'm serious. I always thought she was a little, on the dumb side, but she's actually super good at learning languages. Is that so? You've been spending a lot of time with her recently. Kenma wanted to say, but decided against it and swallowed his jealousy down instead. I'm glad she's studying here too. I was super worried that I'd be alone for most of the time apart from the people I'd play volleyball with. I don't speak German and my English also sucks. Yeah, it's good she's there. At least you're not alone. Kenma closed his eyes. How was it possible to lie and speak the truth at the same time? He knew how worried Kuroo was due to the fact that his English skills weren't the best. Worried he wasn't going to be able to socialize with the other students, and worried he wouldn't be able to keep his grades up. It was Alisa who had helped him to study ever since they arrived in the foreign country, and Kenma was grateful for it. He was glad Kuroo wasn't completely alone, despite them taking different classes. It was quite a surprise when she was at the airport that day. Yeah, you two even ended up taking the same flight. I still wonder why Lev never said anything about the whole thing, though. He knew the both of us were going to study in Germany, and yet he kept quiet. I don't know, I mean, it's Lev. There's not a whole lot of things going on in his brain, so who knows what he was thinking. He probably wasn't thinking about anything at all. Kenma huffed at the thought of the middle blocker. The days where Kenma just wanted to smack him right into his dumb-looking face were progressively increasing. Is he giving you a hard time? Someone knocked at Kuroo's door. Yes. He groaned, unsure whether it was because of Lev, who was going to annoy the shit out of him during practice tomorrow, or because of the fact that Kuroo was spending time with Alisa once again. The door's locked snapped open. Hey Kuroo, are you ready to go? I'm so excited for today. Shh. Hey? Oh! Alisa's voice rang through the line, and Kenma could practically hear how she covered her mouth with her hands, cutting her sentence off. Wanna say hi to Kenma? Yes. Kuroo put his boyfriend on speaker, now fiddled with his shoelace that had come undone. Hey Kenma, how's things going? I hope my brother isn't giving you a hard time. I don't want to talk about that idiot brother of yours. A small giggle escaped Alisa's lips. I'm sorry, he's a handful sometimes. Sometimes? Kuroo zipped up his jacket. Kenma knew about the smile that had spread all over Kuroo's face without actually seeing it. The slight vibration in Kuroo's voice had given it away. Anyways, Kenma, we'll go out now. I'll call you tomorrow. It's getting late over there. You better get in some sleep. I'll take lots of photos of KuroKen for you. Good night? Thanks. Good night. Night, kitten. How was he supposed to fall asleep when the thought of Kuroo and Alisa going on yet another date was making it hard for him to breathe? Kenma flopped on his back, his head sinking on the soft pillows as he stared at the ceiling. He knew they weren't really going on a date. He knew all of his fears of losing Kuroo were just in his head. Fears made up by his mind, born from Kenma's insecurities. There was nothing going on between Kuroo and Alisa. They were only hanging out because they spoke the same language and had known each other prior moving abroad. He knew that Kuroo loved him. Damn you, stupid mind. Kenma hated himself for those thoughts and for the jealousy that was boiling in his veins. He hated himself for constantly letting the negative side of his mind outweigh the positive one. Kenma wasn't stupid nor blind. He clearly saw how much effort Kuroo was putting in their relationship ever since they had started dating. Kuroo hadn't even changed. He was the same as always, and yet Kenma found it more and more difficult to trust him. He knew that he had no reason for his mistrust in his boyfriend. Kuroo called him whenever he was free to talk and texted him whenever he wasn't calling. He didn't go clubbing or drinking, even though he was at the legal age to do so. There was nothing that he had done wrong. In fact, he was fulfilling his side of the promise, spending most of the day either studying with Alisa or practicing volleyball. Kuroo worked hard for his dream to come true. It was Kenma who didn't quite stick to the promise they had made. He had promised not to cry, yet he was crying more often than he'd like to admit. He didn't manage to support Kuroo wholeheartedly, even though he had promised to. Yeah, he pretended to be supportive, but deep down he felt so alone and just wished for Kuroo to come back home as soon as possible. He hated himself for being jealous whenever Kuroo spent time with Alisa, despite the latter helping his boyfriend with keeping his grades up. He hated himself for wishing that Kuroo had never left Japan. It was me who told him to leave, and yet I'm being such a bitch. Kenma took a deep breath before he shifted his gaze over to the watch on his desk. 1:35 a.m. Knowing that Kuroo wasn't actually cheating on him and it was just his mind playing tricks on him, Kenma pushed himself off the bed. He turned his computer on in hopes that the friends he had made online a few months ago could distract him a little. Old Man is online. I Like Food is online. Diners Are Real is online. Yo, Ken. Hey guys. Why are you all not sleeping? You're literally awake as well. Why do you two have matching icons? They're dating. No, we're not. I don't even know this person. You forced me to change it. Your old profile picture was so depressing to look at. This one is much cuter. I bet $10 that they are going to end up together someday. I'm sorry, but I already gave my heart to someone. Oh, did ya? I'm also in a relationship. Well, you could always break up with them. I could never replace my boyfriend like that. Yeah, I'd much rather not break up with him, even though he can be a pain in the ass sometimes. Thanks for the $10 though. Are you alright, Ken? You've been awfully quiet. I'm okay, I guess. There's just a lot on my mind. Wanna talk about it? I don't know, maybe. Talk to us, baby. What the heck? My boyfriend recently moved abroad to study, and I don't know, I guess I feel jealous and neglected, even though I promised to cheer for him. You know, long distance relationships never work. Why that? One always ends up cheating on the other. How long will he be abroad? 12 months. He's been gone for 3 months already. Dude, he's definitely cheating on you. There's no way he won't go without sex for a year. Stop that, you're just making things worse now. But it's true though. He's abroad, surrounded by a ton of hot foreigners. Ken won't suspect a thing because there's no way that he'd ever talk to any of those people his boyfriend is fucking with. I totally sleep around cause why not? Yeah, you're definitely single. Huh? If you are truly in love with someone, you'd definitely not cheat on them. It's just a year, just ask for photos and do it yourself. I don't know, man. There's no need to fuck around like a horny teenager. Yeah, but doing it yourself was different than the real thing. You can't go from sleeping with your partner every day to not having sex for a year. You definitely can control yourself if you're truly in love with someone. And to be honest, sleeping with random strangers just isn't the same as sleeping with the one you love. We never actually slept with another though. How long have you been dating? Around 2 years now. You sure he wasn't already cheating on you when he was still in Japan? I don't think he ever cheated on me. He just didn't want to pressure me, I guess. Dude, no, just no. Every guy has certain desires. They can't control their lust. You're telling me he went 2 years without touching you? That's bullshit. You sound like a fuckboy. Did you ever truly fall in love with someone? Yeah, sex is important to a certain degree, but love is more than just doing it all day, every day. I think it's very sweet of him to not pressure Ken into doing it when he wasn't ready yet. Say, Ken, where's your boyfriend living now? Germany. Anyways, I've got school tomorrow, so I'll go to sleep. Bye. Ken is offline. Akashi face-palmed himself. How come he hadn't noticed earlier that the stranger he talked to for months now wasn't actually a stranger to him? Akashi's finger quickly scrolled through his contacts, searching for a particular name. Kenma. He flinched as the call device touched his ear, impatiently waiting for Kenma to pick up the call. Hello? I don't think that he's cheating on you. Excuse me? Maybe he shouldn't start randomly babbling like this out of sudden. You Ken, aren't you? We've talked for so long and yet I never managed to notice. I know we're not that close in real life, but I don't think that Kuroo would ever cheat on you. Akashi, do you remember that misunderstanding when he wanted to confess to you? And how he spent the night at my place? Yeah, there was a huge misunderstanding. Right? It was kind of my fault too. No, it really wasn't. You didn't do anything wrong back then. I still feel a little guilty about it though. Anyways, that wasn't what I wanted to talk about. Kuroo told me just how much he loves you. He wanted to confess to you for a really long time, but he was way too nervous. He'd never cheat on you. I know, I really know. A lump formed in Kenma's throat. His voice vibrated as he tried to hold back his tears. It's my fault. Kuroo never did anything wrong. He always gave me whatever time and space I needed. He gives me so much love without ever asking for anything in return, and yet I'm being like this, feeling jealous and lonely for no stupid reason. I know he doesn't cheat on me, but after the thing Diners Are Real said, I don't know what to think anymore. Kenma's voice had gotten blurry and now hot tears were dropping onto the floor. I'll come over, okay? 6:35 a.m. Sorry, Akashi. For what? For being such a bother and keeping you up all night. Akashi smiled as he shook his head in disagreement. His bright eyes were dull and tired. Don't. We're friends, sort of. Thank you. I really do feel better after talking to you. Sometimes those negative thoughts of mine start consuming me. Talking to you kind of made me snap out of it. I'm glad to hear. I can't imagine how hard it must be for you to be in a long-distance relationship now, but Kuroo loves you a lot. He loved you all his life. He wouldn't risk his relationship for a one-night stand or something like that. Come if you need to talk, okay? You don't have to go through this alone. BokuAka keeps you busy all the time, and because of me, you ended up staying awake all night. I feel guilty for it. Don't. Really, I don't mind it. I have more free time ever since BokuAka enrolled in university, so don't worry too much, okay? Thank you, I really appreciate it. But I'd better hurry now, otherwise I'll be late for class. Text me if you need to. Akashi had slid into his shoes before he opened the door. The warm summer air greeted him as he waved goodbye to Kenma, and he started to feel the exhaustion creeping up his bones. How was he going to survive practice today? Kenma flopped back onto his bed, glancing over the pictures Kuroo had sent earlier. They mainly were photos of Kuroo that Alisa had taken, with a couple of selfies here and there, and 1 or 2 pictures of their food. When he had first looked at those pictures, Kenma felt incredibly sad, lost and alone, but Akashi quickly managed to pull him out of his negative mindset. Looking at them now made Kenma smile. Kuroo looked so happy, he couldn't wait to see him again, hug him, kiss him. Maybe I should find a job. Kenma had started a YouTube channel, but he wasn't able to earn any money with it despite spending hours and hours on creating content. Apparently, he didn't add enough commentary to his videos, so they fell under the reused content section. He gazed over to the calendar, August 24th, exactly 4 months until Christmas. If he worked hard, he could probably manage to save up enough money to fly over for a week or 2 to spend the New Year's Eve with Kuroo. Kenma turned his focus back to the electronic device he was holding in his fingers, eyes gazing over Kuroo's face again. Kuroo was giving his best and worked hard to achieve his dream, and once he was going to be back home in Japan, they'd move in together. Kenma smiled. Yeah, he should find a job. After all, the bills needed to get paid in the future as well, and he didn't want to solely rely on Kuroo for that matter. It was time for him to put in some effort in this relationship as well. But just as he put his phone down in order to get changed into his uniform, something caught Kenma's attention. It was a photo of Alisa. Her bright green eyes were shining in the sunlight, lips curled upwards into her smile. There was a silver necklace around her neck that matched her hair color. A charm in the form of a heart was attached to it, which was decorated with 3 crystals that were reflecting in the sun. It was a necklace that hadn't been there in the previous photo, or in any other photos that Kuroo had sent over the past months. Kenma's stomach turned at the realization that it was a pretty expensive looking necklace, something Alisa wouldn't have bought herself. Kenma felt his heartbeat quickening up. His fingertips were growing numb and the device slipped right through his hands, crashing onto the floor with a dull sound. She had definitely received the necklace as a gift from Kuroo. There was no other way to explain things. Tears were dropping from his cheeks. In just 3 months, he had lost his boyfriend to another girl, a girl that had the privilege of spending time with him, a girl that made him smile when Kenma wasn't there and unable to make him laugh. That's not fair. There was nothing Kenma could say or do because, after all, there were 9,000 kilometers in between them. Kenma's friend's words started echoing in his head. There's no way he can go a year without sex. 2 years without touching you? You sure he didn't cheat on you back in Japan already? If Kenma had let Kuroo touch him, maybe he wouldn't have searched for comfort in someone else. His fingers trembled as he dialed Akashi's number. Kenma, it's not fair. I've loved him first. The necklace looks really beautiful on you. You think so? Yeah, of course. But are you really okay with giving it to me? Yeah, it looks much better on you anyways.